Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be making a rose bag, and the first thing we're going to do is to draft the pattern. So I'm going to be using this cardboard paper. It's an embossed cardboard, and I'm going to be using a compass and a tape rule. The next thing I did was to open the compass to 4 inches width, and then I'm going to use that 4 inches to draw a circle, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to cut it out now. I already cut out the circle. Here is our pattern. So now I just want to notch the midpoint so I could take the round measurement to determine the length of our band. Now the length of our band is 26.5 and the width of the band is 2.5 inches. So now the measurement of our band is 2.5 by 26.5. And the next thing we're going to do is to transfer the pattern to the fabric that we are working with, just like you see me do. We'll be needing two circles, so I already cut out the two circles from the satin material we are using, and the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the band. Remember, the band is 2.5 inches by 26.5, so I'm going to cut one piece of that. Once I was done marking the height and the width, I'm just going to connect the dots and then cut out our band. I'm done cutting the two sides, the two circles and the band, and this is what it looks like. So I went ahead to add interfacing just to give it strength. I used a very light stay since we are still going to use fiber as part of interfacing to give it strength, and then I went ahead to cut lining for all the pieces. The other things we're going to be needing to make this bag is our zip cloth, zip head, and this bead, and then we get to work. Now it's time to sew. We're going to be joining the fabric, the satin fabric, with the fiber and the lining, just like you see me do. Once we are done working on the circle and we already trim off the excess, the next we are going to do is to work on the band. And for the band, we're going to be attaching just the main fabric, which is the satin, to the fiber without the lining, just like you see me do. It's very simple. Once I was done attaching the fiber to the main fabric for the band and I already trim off the excess, so the next thing I went ahead to do is to determine the length of our zipper, and it is 9 inches. I just cut out the 9 inches from the total length of the band. So I'm going to be attaching the zip cloth on the 9 inches length that I already cut out. Just watch the way I'm doing it. It's very simple. Once I was done attaching the zip cloth, the next thing to do is to attach the lining. And to do that, we have to split the lining just like we splitted the main material, the zipper part and the other part. So now I'm just splitting the zipper part and I'm going to attach it. Just watch the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to be placing the lining on the zipper part. The whole idea is to use the lining to turn it to achieve neat finishing. And I'm going to repeat the same process with the other zipper band before fixing the zipper head. Now I'm done attaching the lining. So the next thing we're going to do now is to fix the zipper head, like I said. Once I was done fixing the zipper head and I already trimmed out the excess, the next thing is to join the other part of the band, the one without zipper, the longer part of the band. So we're going to be placing the band, the right side of the band, on the right side of the band that has zipper, and the lining is going to be on the other side, just like you see me do. And once I was done doing that, I'm going to flip it to the other side and top stitch. So the next we're going to do is to also repeat it at the other side so as to close our band on the other side for us to achieve neat finishing. And now I'm just going to be running stitch on all the opening at the sides and also trim off the excess. This is how the band looks like now. We are done with the band, and the next thing we're going to do is to join it to the sides, the two circles. But before then, I decided to add designs to the other side of the circle just to make it interesting. So I cut out pieces of fabric that I'm going to be pleating on the circle. This part is optional. You can leave it plain like that since the main design is the rose flower on the bag. Guys, I didn't know that I was not videoing the part where I was splitting, like the camera stopped and I was not aware. But this is how it looks like at the end, and I'm sure you all know how to pleat. So you just pleat on it, like just pleat on it the way you want, and it's just going to come out nice. This is what it looks like now, and the next thing we're going to do is to attach the sides to the band. Just watch the way I'm doing it. So I'm just going to notch the midpoint of the circle both up and down, and then the midpoint of the band both up and down. Make sure you take your time to join the band to the sides, especially because we are working on a circle bag. Once you are close to the end of the sewing, you can take it out to confirm if the band is excess, so you can take out the excess. Just run your stitch on the excess. This is the easiest method if you don't want to do too much calculation and you don't want to be at the risk of having short length So you can just add allowance to it and then hold it when you are joining the bands to the sides. So we are done joining the other side. So I'm just going to fit in the second side just like you see me do. Once I was done joining the two sides to the band, the next thing to do is to do the finishing of the inside. So we're just going to cover the inside with taping. And once we are done doing that, we are going to flip it to the other side. I'm done taping the inside, so now I'm going to turn the bag to the right side. Guys, we are done with this part of the bag, and the next thing we're going to be working on is the fabric flower that is going to be on the bag, which is our main design. With my compass, I measured 3 inches, and that is what I'm going to be using to draw our circle, which is going to be the base of our fabric flower. So just look at the way I'm doing it, it's self-explanatory. Once I was done cutting the circle, the next thing I did was get the midpoint of the circle and then from there draw a spiral that I'll be using to form the flower. This is how it looks like, guys, and the next thing is to work on the fabric that we're going to be using to form the flower itself. The width of the fabric we're using is 5 inches and on fold is going to be 2.5 inches, which I already folded, and the full length is 112 inches, but because I wanted the camera to be able to capture it, I had to fold it into two, which is giving us 56 inches. At this point, we're going to be needing our hand needle because that is what we are going to be using to make our gathers. We're not going to be using the sewing machine. We're going to be using hand needle to make our gathers. Just look at the way I'm doing it. So at this point, I'm just distributing the fabric just to make sure the gathers are equal. At this point, I was just trying to see how the flower is going to come out. So I'm trying to arrange the fabric before attaching it permanently. So you can try to use gum to hold it down, but for me, I decided to use needle and thread. So after arranging it and I saw the way it is, if I still need to gather it more or I'm okay with what I have. So the moment I figured that I was okay with what I have, the next thing I did was to use needle and thread to attach it. And here is the final look. And now I'm just going to go ahead to attach directly to the main bag. You can decide to use gum like I said, but for me, while I was recording, I didn't have gum, so I decided to improvise and use needle and thread, which actually came out really nice. You can decide to use gum to make it easier and faster. So I just went ahead to unstitch it round. I am done attaching the flower to the bag, and the next thing we're going to do now is to work on this strap. With our needle and thread, watch the way I'm going to be making the bead strap. You can stop adding the bead once you're okay with the length. At this point, you want to tack it down very well so it can be strong enough. You can actually pass the thread one more time just to secure it and make it stronger. You're just going to pass the thread through the beads to the other side and then tack it down again. But I decided to not do that for this because since it's a mini bag, it's not going to be carrying so much weight. We are done, guys. The bag came out really nice and very neat. This is the end result. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in my next video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Bye.